Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Have something a little out of the ordinary today. Today we're taking a look at the first 5 figures from the 1999 series of Microman figures. This is a subline called Super Magnetic Power System, often just called Magne Powers for short. But basically, Microman was a thing back in the 80s. If you're familiar with kind of the history of Transformers and all that kind of stuff, I definitely urge you to go watch The Toys That Made Us, because they did an excellent episode on Transformers where basically Hasbro created the G.I. Joe doll. They gave it to Takara, licensed it out to Takara. Takara used it for a while, but they kind of made it an android just because like army fighting stuff wasn't that big in Japan at the time. So they cast the doll in clear plastic. It became like a cyborg, I think Cyborg Henshin it was called. Then, because they wanted to keep costs down, they took that and they shrank it, and that became Microman. And then a lot of Microman toys eventually came back to the US and became Transformers, so it was kind of a weird cyclical thing. But, so Microman existed for a time in the 80s and then kind of went dormant. Just kind of things get stale, so they go away. we're no stranger to that. But they brought it back in the very late 1990s, starting in 1999, and then a couple years after. Didn't last super long, but this line is called Super Magnetic Power System, and basically how it works is these guys all have little magnets in their feet, and some of the other figures have magnets as well, and they have larger figures that you can like take the arms off and put different arms on, and they all just connect via magnets and stuff like that. So it's kind of an interesting line, but this is the first 5 in the line. They are kind of the 5 main heroes. There was like a comic and an anime that also went with this. Again, didn't last super long because unfortunately it did not sell as well as they would hope. But I got into it recently thanks to my friend Corey Frozen Stratus on Twitter. Shout out to him, always getting me to fall into these weird rabbit holes. But I found a bunch of these on Mandarake. They're still in package here, and they're not that expensive, so I decided to go for it. I watched a couple episodes of the anime. Unfortunately, there's like 1 or 2 episodes that are subbed, and then the rest are just kind of on there. I mean, you can still kind of enjoy them without the subtitles, but in any case, here's the back of the card to give you an idea of some of the stuff that it can do. So you can see they have magnets, and they're magnets in the feet. They're sticking to cans. They're kind of doing a handstand on a old-timey bookend. He's holding a battery up, so he should have a magnet in the tip of the gun hand as well, and definitely in the feet. And then these are the 5 heroes that we're looking at today. Here are 3 of the villains. And then you have some cool vehicles and stuff. So it's a whole line of crazy stuff, but it's definitely pretty fun. So the 5 main heroes here, right here it says Magne Powers Microman Arthur. This is Microman Izamu. This is Walt. This is Edison. And this is Odin. So those are our 5 heroes. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here they are out of the packaging. We'll start over here on the left with Arthur, since he is number 1. You can see how they all have these kind of chrome heads. He's the only one with kind of like a normal human head, but he's got kind of these like ear radar type. It's almost like a Humagear, like the way the Humagear has those like headphone pieces on the side. But they're pretty cool. So for articulation, the head can move side to side. Shoulder can go in and out as well as all the way around. This arm that has like the cannon can swivel at the bicep, but that's it. It's one solid piece from there out. On this arm, you can swivel at the bicep, but then you also have not quite 90 degrees at the elbow, but you have a decent bend there, and then the forearm is all molded as one solid piece. Then you have a ball joint in the hip, and then you have pretty much 90 degrees in the knee. I get a little worried about these ball joints for the legs, though, because they kind of just look like it's a piece of plastic, so I mean, I know it's all plastic, but I just mean it seems flimsy. I hope it'll be fine given time. I mean, I guess it's lasted 20 plus years at this point, so should be fine. But you can see here that they have magnets in the feet. They also have a magnet in the tip of the gun, and this, I don't know, thing on the chest, whatever you want to call that, is also a magnet. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that's interesting to note, so we take a look at Izamu. Like I said, they don't really have, the rest don't really have human heads. On the anime, they have human heads, and then they like have helmets that kind of go over top of them when they're ready to fight. They all have the exact same articulation. But the thing I wanted to point out is that the polarity of the magnets is all the same. So like these don't want to connect because you can feel them repelling. So you can see how it's kind of moving the magnet around as it does it. So they won't stick. See how it's kind of kicking the leg around because it's the different polarity of the magnet. It's kind of like a magic trick. Magnets are fun. Anyway, so they're all the same polarity. So there's going to be other things. They can stick to any metal. But it's just interesting to note that they're all the same polarity of magnet. Now, I don't know if that means later on there's going to be other figures that have different polarity so that they can connect to them. But this guy's one of my favorites. I know his name is Walt, which is weird, but he's blue, which is my favorite color, and the gold looks really cool. And I like his like eagle head crest. It's kind of hard to tell the detail of the chromed heads, but if you look close enough, you can see, and it's pretty cool, actually. So like I said, they all have the same articulation. But he's definitely my favorite, I think. Then you have this dude, Edison, who's got kind of like a mantis-looking head. And the color combinations are actually pretty good. I think the yellow and the green look really good together. This next guy is my second favorite. Odin. He's just got he's got kind of like a cool like wolf head, which I think looks awesome. And then he's got like a black and orange that look really good together. So I really like his color combination as well. So all 5 of them are really cool. Oop, as I'm knocking people over. Let me zoom out. Whoop. All right, I'll try to get these guys all stand up. They honestly stand fine. It's just that the hips are a little loose, as you can see. And I think that's so that those pieces of plastic they're on don't break. Because honestly, if you made them too tight, I could easily see them snapping off because they're pretty thin. So, like I said, I'm sure they'll be okay, but I just get nervous about them breaking off over time. But the nice thing is that like the feet, from the knee, it's all one solid piece, so you shouldn't have any problem there. The shoulder joints feel pretty solid. I'm not really worried about them at all. So they're really cool figures. Just to give you a little bit of a size comparison, here is like a Soto figure. So you can see they're probably about a little taller than half of a Soto figure, maybe 3/4, maybe not quite 3/4, but fairly close. Also, if I grab like a Lego minifigure, they're probably about twice as tall as a Lego minifigure. So, yeah, but I like them. I think they're a neat line. They have vehicles and playsets and things that I'll probably, if I keep doing these videos, we'll check out over time. So I think it's a fun line. When you, like I always say, when you have figures this small, it's easy to do vehicles and playsets and things, and that's the kind of stuff I really enjoy. So I think they're fun. Like I said, if you're interested, I got mine on Mandarake, but you could probably find them on eBay. I've seen some on Amazon. You're going to see crazier prices on those too, but I feel like Mandarake, Yahoo Japan auctions would probably be your best bet. Oh, also here, I'll show you this. This little booklet came with them, so you can see some of the things that are also available. So here are the 5 guys we just took a look at. Showing off the magnet powers. Here is the helicopter that hides in the spicy noodle. And then here is the little ground vehicle that hides in the can of soda. So the thing I should say, for Microman, they actually are supposed to be tiny. They come to Earth, but they still are this size. Like, this is supposed to be their actual size. So that's why you'll see things like them hiding in a can of soda or a spicy thing of noodles, because they're supposed to be tiny. They're not supposed to be human-sized. This is, I guess, some kind of set of robots. Now, these guys are the ones that I was talking about where you can see the magnet joints and you can kind of like pull things apart and connect different combinations using the magnets. So you have this guy here who can turn into like a little vehicle for these smaller figures, but then he can also magnet on as a new arm for the larger robot. And then there's an assortment of those. These are the three villains. They all have these kind of like gun launcher hands that shoot these little circle pods. Then you have these three kind of strange animal guys who turn into a giant monster altogether. This one's another one of those where they have a lot of different magnet joints, so you can kind of mix and match and make different possibilities. These are the villains that I really like. They're probably about the same size as these vehicle dudes, but they turn into various animals. Like he's a spider, or maybe he's a spider, he's a beetle, he's a snake. And then this is just kind of like a crazy group shot of all of them together. But it's a kind of neat line. I like it. And that's just a crazy combination of just magneting a bunch of stuff all together. And there's a picture from the anime. Actually, that's probably from the comic. They did a comic and an anime, but the style is pretty similar. So I just thought it was fun. I wanted to give these a try. I definitely like them, and I'll probably be doing a few more videos just to at least show you some of the other kinds of figures, like from the book I just showed you. I have a few of those. So, but yeah, I think they're fun, and I definitely recommend picking them up if you're looking for fun, smaller figures like this. They're even smaller than like the normal Microman size figures. Normal Microman is probably about the same size as like a Soto, so probably like another fourth, maybe another third taller of these guys for the normal Microman size. So they're a little bit smaller, but great color combinations, fun articulation. The magnet thing I think is really going to be fun going forward, so I'm excited to really dive into this line. But that'll do it for the video, so please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.